So we are just inching closer and closer to that brand new Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And a lot of people are talking about the games that we might see at this upcoming Direct. Now, I find it weird that we're all just like expecting there to be games. I think there will be because it's called the Nintendo Direct. But Nintendo did not necessarily say games. They said that they're going to focus on the console itself, that they're going to show us all the details of it, give a release date, all that kind of stuff. And they never talked about games. However, I do think they will talk about at least a few games. And one game, there was one game that one YouTuber mentioned that I can get behind. I can get behind. And you probably guessed it if you've followed me on the channel. I am a huge Zelda fan, and it apparently is going to be a brand new Ocarina of Time remake. What's going on, everybody? It is the Mossy Jake. I guess that was an intro. Now, an Ocarina of Time remake actually makes a lot more sense. Now, I know some of you in the comments are going to be like, well, technically, it already got a remake. Yes, I know. It was for the 3DS, but think about this. A lot of people who play Ocarina of Time aren't playing it on their 3DS. They're either playing it on their Switch because they have it on the N64 app thing, whatever. Or, you know, they whip out the good old N64. You know, up there, you just whip it out and just play some Ocarina of Time if you have one, you know. A lot of people love to play the original, and that is great. So, a whole full-on remake of the one of the greatest games of all time. Like, it could be considered the greatest game of all time. I would not disagree with you whatsoever. I could get behind that. For the brand new system, Switch 2, along with a brand new 3D Mario and a brand new Mario Kart, makes a lot of sense. Now, I was thinking about this earlier, and obviously we know we're getting a brand new Mario Kart, you know, that's already confirmed. However, a lot of people are just so sure that we are also going to get a 3D Mario, which I am sure too. But here's the thing. They announced 2 games, both of them being Mario. I don't know. I don't know. Like, isn't that a little like, don't we need some variety up in here? I could see Nintendo throwing in their second biggest IP ever, and, you know, not giving us a brand new 3D Zelda game, not giving us a brand new 2D Zelda game, but giving us a remake of some sorts. Now, they could say, hey, here's Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Enjoy. They could say that. But it's also like, those are more like ports. And I feel like they'd save those for later. You know, with this Direct, it seems like they're going to try to blow us out of the water. So a brand new Ocarina of Time remake, that would blow everyone out of the water. That would be enough for people to go out and buy the Switch 2. Like, forget 3D Mario, forget Mario Kart. Like, I mean, obviously those are enough as well. But like, if all we were getting was a brand new 3D Zelda game, well, remake, I guess, then people would flock to the stores. Flock. And of course, I think Mario sells more for just like family friendly, but there are those diehard fans that would go out and just buy a Switch 2 and only play that game. Because, like I said, it's considered one of the greatest games of all time, and Nintendo might take advantage of that, saying like, hey, you want to play the greatest game of all time again? Buy the Switch 2. That makes a lot of sense to me. They're making some good points out in here, bro. I'm just saying. And may I add, Nintendo has kind of teased this in the past. I know there's one interview where they were asking the creators of Zelda, like, hey, will there ever be a Zelda Ocarina of Time remake? I believe this was about a year or 2 ago. Whoa, voice crack. And the creators just like looked, I'll have to find a video or something, or you could probably just look it up. But the creators just kind of looked at each other. And then back at not the announcer, the interviewer or whatever, and they just started laughing. They're like, you know, it could happen. You know something. So, hey, maybe they had just barely started working on it back then, and it's been 2 years, or maybe they were working on it back then, and now it's time for them to release it. Could you imagine? A brand new Zelda remake? One of the greatest games of all time on the Switch 2, day one, with a brand new Mario Kart, and then a 3D Mario game coming like maybe later in holiday time. That's what I'm looking for. The internet would lose their freaking mind. I would lose my freaking mind. I'm not joking with you. And Nintendo has learned their lesson from the Wii U. I hope they have. I believe they have. And they've realized, hey, you need to start every system off with a bang. You can't just release a system and give them one game. And just like one game that's kind of just like, you know, whatever. And then just like expect, like all we had was Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land was the big one. It was a good game. But it's just like, That's like the starter game. That's like the game you play to get to know the system. It was a great game, you know, kind of like Wii Sports, all that. Great game. But you have to give us more than that. You have to give us something fantastic. You have to blow us out of the water. 3D Mario Kart, and a Zelda remake. It all makes sense. And don't be saying like, oh, that's a stretch. You know, no. 2025 has been dry. They've been saving all their. We know. Like, I feel like every Nintendo fan agrees with me on this. We know that they've been saving their big games for this Direct, or for, you know, the beginning of Switch 2, because we haven't heard anything for a long time. It's kind of been remakes for a long time. You know, Xenoblade, right? And then we got Donkey Kong Country Returns. We got Luigi's Mansion 2. It's been remake city for a long time because we know they be working on something in the background. They got their brand new Mario Kart. They got their brand new 3D Mario, which I would be shocked if we did not see it at this Direct. And they got the brand new Zelda game. Well, remake. Sorry. I always say brand new. Brand new 3D remake of Ocarina of Time. The universe would explode. The universe would lose its mind. I believe we would have world peace for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The world, however long this Direct is, okay? Like, let's say it's a 40-minute Direct. 40 minutes. Like, once they, okay, I guess once they announce the trailer for 3D Mario or new Zelda or whatever, the world would go silent. I'm obviously being dramatic, but the world peace. This is how we obtain world peace. We need a brand new 3D Mario. I'm just repeating myself now. But what do you guys think of this? I think it's very possible. At first I was like, really? Like a new Zelda doesn't really make sense. And you probably clicked on this video thinking about the same exact thing. You're like, no, this guy's capping. I don't think it's going to be a brand new 3D Zelda. I don't think it's going to be a brand new 2D Zelda. But a Zelda remake makes sense. A Zelda remake that everyone would get behind, that everyone can agree on, makes sense to me. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys. Hey guys, if you like that video, please watch another one. Maybe this one on the screen, you know, the one right there, right now. You seen it? You seen it? Okay. Because that's how the algorithm works, and that's how I get discovered and all. But I guess you do you, you know. That's just how life goes. We all just do what we please. Okay, I'm gonna go now.